Idaho Dub with another NCAA Dynasty video. Big game this week, man. Not as big as a lot of people had probably thought it was going to be at the beginning of the year or even a few weeks ago. Civil War is on Friday. You got Oregon State pitted against Oregon. A lot of other big rivalry games this weekend. We have the Iron Bowl. But I think we need to dive in. You guys know I live in Portland, Oregon. I'm a Beaver fan. I went to Portland States. I don't hate the Ducks as much as a lot of Beaver fans do. And so, I'm around the Oregon State talk nonstop. And I was at the Oregon State game last weekend, so let's talk about that first. They got beat down, man. They got beat down. That was probably the least amount of fun I've had at a Beaver game ever. We got down there early in the day, tailgated the whole day. Oregon had lost, right? So I was in the new Oregon State store. Their new, they call it the bookstore, but it's basically like a Dick's Sporting Goods. They have everything in there. And so where I'm in there, checking some stuff out. It was really cold outside. It was sunny, clear, but it was freezing. So I was trying to stay in there to keep warm. And they had a huge TV in there. And they had the Duck game on there, and the Ducks were losing pretty bad to Arizona at the time. It did not look promising for the Ducks, and obviously they ended up losing. So there's a ton of Beaver fans happy that the Ducks lost. And so, everybody's amped up, getting ready to go into the game. Go into the game, and Washington just flat out dominated, man. Without Keith Price, they dominated. I don't know, Mannion, he looked so good earlier in the year, but now it's like, I don't know what happened to him. That guy has went the opposite direction. He should have entered the draft 4 weeks ago. Just been like, I'm done playing this year. I'm going to enter the draft because my stock is super high. So I don't know, man. Judging off of Oregon State's performance in the last 3 weeks, I would say they don't have a chance against Oregon. But then again, we have Oregon. And I live out here, like I said, I live in Oregon. So as you can imagine, the Ducks have been really popular over the last, 5 to 10 years, and it's pretty much all Duck talk all the time here. So what's interesting is the Ducks lose to Arizona. Shouldn't have lost. My Mariota pick for the Heisman after that dub live a few weeks ago is out the window. He's threw his first pick, and there's just no way, man. 2 losses, there's no way he's getting it. They just didn't look good. The Ducks did not look good. And I didn't get to watch the whole game, but I saw the highlights. I saw part of it when I was down at Corvallis. So they lose. And then Oregon State loses. So here's what happens with Duck fans, and here's what drives me nuts about Duck fans. And it's not just Duck fans. This happens with a lot of sporting teams, especially college programs. So they lose, and then tickets for the Civil War, student tickets, go not on sale, but you can get them like Sunday night, I believe. Yeah, I think it's Sunday night or Monday night. I think it is Sunday night. You have to get in line, obviously. And, they go by class, so senior, junior, sophomore, freshman. Sunday night, not one of those classes sold out their allotted tickets for the Civil War. The Civil War. The biggest game in Oregon. This is like the Super Bowl of football games for Oregon fans. This is like the biggest sporting event in all of Oregon. And Duck students don't even pick up, they don't even fill all of their tickets that are allotted to them for free. Mind you, they're free tickets. Free 99. I cannot believe that. And I guess I can sort of believe it. So here's my whole thing on the Ducks. My family's, it's weird because nobody in my family went to college, in my immediate family went to college besides me. But for some reason, they're all, like, most of them are Duck fans. The only people in my family that actually went to college are like distant cousins, like second, third cousins, and they all went to Oregon State. So it's weird that they're all Duck fans, right, to begin with. And, they're not just Duck fans the last few years. They have been for a while. But the Ducks haven't been good for, very long. I mean, if you look in the grand scheme of things, the Ducks just recently are a national powerhouse, right? They got the flashy uniforms. They got Nike. They got the cool stadium. High-powered offense. Went to a natty a couple years ago. Should have won the game. And so everybody's a Duck fan. You got Leonardo DiCaprio rocking a Duck hat. You got, Daniel Tosh on Tosh.0 wearing like a LaMichael jersey. Little blown out of proportion, right? I get it. With fame or, achievement, you're going to have bandwagoners. The problem is that Duck students don't even, if it's not a big game for them, they're not even going to go like support their team. They don't even get rid of their student tickets most of the time if it's not a big game. It's amazing. And they haven't been popular long, but for some reason, all Duck fans just think that they should win like every game. Like, you know, like they're never going to have a bad class. Now, don't get me wrong, they should have won that game last weekend, but it seems like they're so entitled. And it's not just Duck fans. This happens when any team gets good. You know, when a team, it doesn't matter what level you're at, wasn't great, you know, they were just kind of mediocre, and all of a sudden they explode and they're good for, you know, an established period of time. They've been good for, you know, 5 to 10 years, like I said. And I don't know, for some reason they come to think I'm a Cowboys fan. I get it. Like, I think the Cowboys should, you know, I'm like, they are good. But when they sucked, you know, the Quincy Cocaine Carter days and the Vinny Testaverde days, I knew we weren't ever going to get taken to the promised land, because, you know, we had those quarterbacks. I knew we didn't have the team probably to win it. But Duck fans think they think that they should just have it all. They think they should win all the time, and it's like that with other sporting teams, and sports teams, not sporting teams. I'm talking like an idiot. It's too much turkey today. But it's funny to see how that all changes, because it's all Ducks all the time. Like, for instance, on Facebook, I'll just give you an example. On Facebook, there's people who don't follow sports at all, like at all, I'm friends with, right? The Ducks win. They're like, there's my Ducks, win the day, or, you know, something stupid. I'm like, dude, you don't, like, I bet you could name like 2 people on the team. And that's easy to do because Dat's always in the news, so it's not hard to do that as he catches the ball right there. So it's funny to see. Now, having said all that, coming full circle, I think that the Beavers have a shot. The game's in Eugene. It's a huge game, obviously. Oregon's out of a BCS Bowl. I don't think they're getting into a BCS Bowl after losing to Arizona. So I think the Beavs, if they can, you know, pull themselves together after getting beat down, massacred at home against Washington, I think they could pull it off, because the Ducks, I don't think, are feeling too hot about themselves right now. I just don't think they are. Don't get me wrong, the Ducks have a ton of talent, and it could be a blowout, but the Beavers aren't bad, man. The Beavers aren't bad. They got some injuries on defense, but I think they'd be okay. I think they could pull it out. I think they could. Now watch, they'll go out there and get beat down. So that's my 2 cents, man, on Duck fans, and just fans in general of teams that, you know, weren't good and then all of a sudden had this quick rise to fame. It's funny to see. It's really funny to watch. So enough of that, man. Let's talk about some other bowls, because some of you guys are like, dude, quit talking about the Pac-12. I hate that place. Why don't you talk about the big game this weekend, the Iron Bowl? Iron Bowl? You think Auburn is going to win that game? Really? Raise your hand if you think Auburn's going to win that game. Nobody's raising their hand right now, are they? Not even Auburn fans. Look, don't get me wrong. Auburn's good. Okay, Auburn's good. Awesome game against against Georgia. That was awesome to see. Like, it was amazing. But they should have lost, right? 9 times out of 10. 10 times out of 10, you're not coming down with that catch. 9.99 times, that guy is not catching that ball. And so, that was an amazing game. It was super fun to watch. But I don't think that they're good. They're not great. They're not as good as Bama. Don't forget, week 1 of the season, they almost lost to Washington State. Now, Washington State's now bowl eligible, but they're not great. You know, Washington State's they're a 6-win team right now. So don't forget that they almost lost to Washington State, and they should have lost that Georgia game. I don't think it's going to be that. It might be close, because, you know, Bama's not the type of team that is going to, you know, they're powerful. They're a big team. You know, they're not like Oregon. They'll put up 70 on you. So, you know, I think they're going to win by a couple of scores, though. Maybe 10, 17 points. 10 to 17 points. I think Bama wins. I don't think Auburn's going to pull it out. But it'll be fun to watch. I'm excited to watch it. Real quick, I guess I got to talk about the NFL since it's Thanksgiving Day. The Cowboys play today. This video is coming up before the Cowboys game and before the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game, so I guess we'll talk about that a little. I guess we'll talk about those games a little bit. I know my man Matt Curry wanted me to comment on Matt Flynn coming back for the Packers. I obviously haven't seen the Detroit or Green Bay game yet either, because I haven't seen any games since they haven't aired yet. But I think it's hilarious that Matt Flynn's starting for him. I also think it's hilarious that there was a tie. And I also pray to the football gods that Aaron Rodgers does not come back for the Cowboys game. I hope that collarbone or shoulder or whatever that guy did, I hope it doesn't heal. I hope it doesn't heal for a few more weeks, because I would like to see Matt Flynn or Scott Tolzien against my Cowboys. The Cowboys, though, man, we'll see. They're looking good. Tony Romo making a cover again. He's on the cover again of Sports Illustrated. Well, he's on ESPN a few weeks ago. Now he's on Sports Illustrated. Calling him America's whipping boy and saying why they should all love him, man. The Cowboys beat the Raiders. They're 7-5. They're a game ahead of Philadelphia, and they hold a tiebreaker over Philly right now. I think we're good, man. I think we're good. What I don't want to see is Philadelphia continue to win, because if it comes down to Philly and Dallas at the end of the year, my little heart can't take that pressure, man. It can't take that pressure. Oh, I didn't even talk about the game. Look at this. The Civil War got out of hand for Dub, man. Got out of hands. And that could happen. That could happen easily. Man, I didn't even get a comment on the game. Beavs lose. Hopefully this changes the Beavs' luck in real life, because every time I win on here, I feel like they go out and lose in real life, and every time I lose, they go out and win. I don't know. Maybe I should do a stat check on that, or a fact check. But that's going to do it. Look, I hope you guys all have a great Thanksgiving. I hope you enjoyed the Road to Glory video yesterday. I hope you enjoy the Dynasty video today. We will see how everything turns out. Leave a comment down below who you got. You got the Beavs, you got the Ducks. Do you have Bama? Do you have Auburn? Anything else you want to leave in the comments you want me to touch on the next Dynasty video, let me know. 19-17 is your final. I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time.